Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the ZarCast. I'm your host, Dante V8, and of course, my quizzical co-hosts are here with me today as well. You know, Doughboy may have Quokkas with furs of gold, but I have a co-host with a voice of gold, D22. How are you today?
Hey, good evening, everybody. We're recording a little bit later during the day. I'm excited. We got some traction on episode 2 with Dick Doofus, and I can't wait for our episode 3 of the ZarCast.
Well, yes, and of course, I cannot go any further without mentioning Rose, our editor. Thank you so much for all you've done for us.
Absolutely. I'll let my wife know. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rose.
And the master of asset assessment, ready to bring something completely new to our show today and give us the best buys in the sea. How do you do, Positive Q?
Doing great, everybody. Well rested and relaxed after a holiday weekend away up in Vermont. Happy to get back into the tribe, talking to people on a daily basis, going back and forth on Discord, having fun with all my friends. So looking forward to another episode tonight.
Awesome. Yeah. So the holiday's over. Are you guys fireworks guys?
I am not. I have 8 dogs and they are not fireworks friendly. So 4th of July is not their favorite night, but I know a lot of people enjoy them.
Dee, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching them, and me and my family. I have my my wife's parents over from Puerto Rico, and they're staying here for like 2 weeks. And we went out to the park next door to our house. They do a nice fireworks show. We watched it. We enjoyed it. Same thing. I have just one dog, but he doesn't like it. So my wife gets a little bit upset when the dog gets upset. But yeah, I'm not a guy that'll buy fireworks and do a show myself, but I'll take 30 minutes and enjoy the show.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm going to talk about, right? I liked the shows as a kid. Like we would go to a place called Savage Field or Lenape High School, and they would put on like good shows, and that was always kind of fun because you'd see like your school friends there for the first time in a few months, you know, or like a month, because you'd spend every day of your life with these kids for like 9 months, and then summer hits, and it's like those kids move to Kentucky or something, right? Like they're just gone, they're out of your life. Because we didn't have like, you know, all these ways of staying in touch with our school friends. So I like going to those for those reasons. But I could do without the guy with the fireworks that shows up with the fireworks at the cookout, and you know he wants to put on his own display in like the cul-de-sac there. It's always some guy that like you wouldn't trust him with anything else, right? That he has. He has no good ideas about anything, but suddenly he's pulling up with like a bag of explosives from like behind the seat of his truck, and people are like, you know, yeah, let's trust him with these. So this will be good.
Let's trust him. Let's bring out the kids and let the guy work with the explosives right in front of our home. Yeah.
No, thank you to that guy. All right, so today we have a special guest coming up. Really excited about this guest, but also we have 2 major new segments or pieces to our segment. So first, D22. I'm really excited to announce your new segment. Do you want me to call it out, or do you want to say what it is?
Hey, you are the main guy. I would love for you to do the intro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the all-new D22 Crypto Corner.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you, Dante. Heads up, I'm a big crypto guy. I have been in crypto much longer than I've been involved in NFTs. So this is my bread and butter, so to speak. And yeah, I just want to give a little update on the crypto market in each episode of the ZarCast. So first of all, you know, we're all healing from our wounds. We've taken a hit with this big dip, the bear market, and you know, people are talking it's going to extend into crypto winter. And I have to admit, I probably agree with the fact that we'll probably see decline in prices for the next at least 5 to 8 months. I hope not, but that's what it's looking like. And just to share a couple of stats. So we have Bitcoin. I'm looking at the charts here, the 1-hour chart. Bitcoin has support at 18.8, 19,000, has support at 19.8, and it has support at 20,500. The resistance is at 21 and change, close to 21.7. We're finding a real strong resistance for Bitcoin. My prediction is that Bitcoin may drop as low as 12,000, but I'm hoping it sticks to like 15, 16,000 until we're done with this bear market and we can rally to a new all-time high. Ethereum, we have real strong support around the 890 price. We also have support at 1,000, 1,050. And then shorter term, we have some support at 1,180. And then there's a real strong resistance at 1,280. If we can break the 1,300 mark, I think, we can have a nice run with Ethereum close to the 1800s, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. With that being said, I'd like to touch on a couple of things that have happened in the crypto market. We see all these price declines and we see Luna going to zero. And sometimes it's hard to explain. But one of the big factors that's going on right now in the crypto industry is the over-leveraged institutional investors and the crypto lending companies. For example, Celsius, BlockFi, and just this week, we had Voyager announce that they are declaring bankruptcy and stopping withdrawals from their side as well. And so what's happening is we get a decline because the economy sucks right now. There's high inflation. The stocks are selling out and they're dipping like crazy, record numbers on decline on just traditional stocks. And then for any savvy investor, what you do in a bear market is you start getting rid of your high risk investments. And obviously crypto, it's a new market and it's considered, no matter how you look at it, even if you're not into altcoins, you're just into Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's still a high risk investment. And so all across the board, we have institutional investors, wealthy investors getting rid of all their high risk investments. And so that puts some pressure, some selling pressure on Bitcoin and Ethereum. But then also you have these crypto lending companies where, and I'll tell you myself, I had money locked up in BlockFi and in Celsius. And thank God I got a margin call. I'll be real quick with my personal story. Bitcoin and Chainlink, which are the two cryptos that I was holding that I couldn't really earn much rewards on by staking them. I had them as collateral on these sites, and I got a margin call, and I had to pay up my loan amount. I took them out of the site, and thank God I did, because now Celsius has stopped any withdrawal. So any money you have locked up with Celsius, you can't take out right now, and nobody knows if you're going to be able to or not. But what happens with these crypto lending companies, and for those of you that don't know how this works, so let's say you own one Bitcoin, you're able to send this one Bitcoin to a company like Celsius or BlockFi, and you get a collateral loan as low as 1% interest rates on your loan, and you can get between 30% to 50% amount in loans, and you can get paid in USDC stablecoin, or you can get paid even in cash USD straight to your bank account. So what happens is people lock up their Bitcoin on these lending sites. You get collateral, and then if the Bitcoin goes lower than X amount, you have to either add more Bitcoin or you get a margin call and you have to sell whatever Bitcoin you have so you can pay off your loan. That's what's happening in this market right now, is where we have so many people over collateralized. They took loans on their crypto, didn't expect this deep drop. And now everyone is obligated to sell at the lowest point, putting more pressure to the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's what the trickle effect we're seeing now in the market. I'm curious to see how things pick up. But that's what I got for today. I'm running out of time, and I look forward to giving you some more updates next week.
I just had one question about something that you said for people who don't typically invest and don't really understand this. You kept saying different tokens had support or resistance at different numbers. What did you mean by support and resistance?
Yes, that's a great question, Dante. So I use TradingView, and I also use a company that automatically gives you this information on the charts. But what that means is support means that at a certain price level, there's a lot of aggressive bulls buying this particular token at that particular price. So with Bitcoin, when I said the 1 hour chart, there's real strong support at the 19,000, for example. That means that you have a lot of bulls, which when you're called a bull, it means that you are betting that the market is going to go up. You think it's a good product or a good investment, and you're putting your money thinking that the price is going to go up. And so the bulls create this support level where they are buying up at any X particular price. So if Bitcoin's at 20,000 now and they see it drop to 19, 18.5, there's just a real strong order book of people buying at that price. And that gives it a support. And when you see resistance is when the bears start selling, which they identify at what price they think it's not going to keep going up. And they just set automatic sell orders on their holdings so they can sell at X price. And that creates a resistance where it's very hard to go over that certain price because you have so many people thinking that it's not going to keep going up and they decide to sell at that price.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Well, that was a lot of information. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
I think I'm going to cut it there because I can go for hours, and we're here to talk about Quokkas. So I'm going to have to fine tune my my crypto insight. But yeah, that's all I got for today.
That was great information, D22.
Yeah, what a great introduction to this new segment you're going to be doing. I love it. All right, that leads us to PQ and his OpenSea report and something new as well today. PQ?
What's going on, everybody? Happy July. Moving on, we're looking forward to the Woodquack event and everybody's going on, but let's get on with the weekly PQ report on what's going on OpenSea. So I'm going to admit I'm here to report the news as I see it and not how I want it to be. It has been a reasonably slow week. We were looking at a 7-day average ETH volume of 5.541 and an average price of 4.16. That is a 40% decline from what we saw just during this podcast last week. Obviously, all of us still believe in the project and will continue to believe in the project. I think what we're seeing is a little bit of hangover from the buildup going into NFT NYC, from the buildup going into the Legend Collection, a lot of ETH getting used up from the street for that. And we're looking to see a rebound. But if you do look from over the past 3 days, we have started to tick back up in trading volume. So I'm looking to see that trend continue and bring you next week where we're back up to normal volume. But that is the OpenSea report as of today. I always want to look at what's on the floor because there is value on the floor. And I love bringing this to everybody in the tribe. I love talking about this with everybody in the tribe. And I hope that everybody not just looks at what they're seeing and what the art is, but what the value is. I've always said from the very first episode of this podcast that people get into NFTs for 3 different reasons: for the art, for the community, or for the investment. And we try and bring all 3 of those things together here. So I'm going to bring you 2 deals that are on the floor today that are both art and investment. And obviously you're in the community if you're listening to this. So let's go with the first one. So we got number 3809, which is, for lack of a better word, a businessman who had a tough day. He's got the tuxedo with the unbuttoned bow tie, faded beaches fur, and the bloodshot eyes. Like he's been out for a long night. He's on his way home. He's about to try and figure out what story he's going to tell his wife. But I do like the Quokkas that match, that it's not a military vest with a fruit bunch hat on it. Like, this guy all goes together. He looks like he just had a tough day from the office. He's on his way home and everything matches. So and that is at 0.69 ETH right now, right at floor level. So number 3908 is the first floor model that the PQ report has for us today.
I love that guy. As soon as I look at him, I'm smiling right with him.
He puts a smile on your face, and quite frankly, we've all been there. Let's be honest. The next one is one that I cannot believe is sitting at this price. I'm going to be honest. It actually prompted the whole second part of this segment. So 44.92 at 0.69 ETH is a digi camo with a rugby jersey with the cowboy hat, green eyes. I don't know why he's still sitting there. I don't know why he's there. You're looking at a 3% fur. You're looking at a 3% like top of head hat. You're looking at the background is actually one of the more rare. I know people don't look at that much, but the backgrounds have rarity as well. And night sky is one of the more rare at 12%. And then the rugby jersey is a 2% thing that happens to say tribe on it, which I like anything that says tribe on it that identifies the Quokka with the collection. I think it makes it more valuable over time. I cannot believe that this guy is still sitting here. So I know we've talked about two, but the PQ deal of the week on the floor right now is 44.92. The sitting there at 0.69. He needs to get scooped up, and he needs to get scooped up now.
He does. It's a steal. And just going back to that tribe shirt, I hope that ends up in a merch store at some point, because I will buy that and wear that every single day. I love.
Absolutely. The rugby jersey needs to come to a merch store near you.
Yeah.
So I always try and bring a little extra to the segment. And when we talk about everything we're doing, I like to talk about investing. I like to talk about things over time and value. I love the community. I like talking to everybody online. I like the friends I've made, Dante V8 and D22 and Bizzle. Like, you know, we have all become great friends over time. And I love that. And I love the artwork. I think that Broba Fett and his team have done amazing things. The first two pieces are covered. But why I really got into this, I think, as everybody knows, is the investment. I like doing the investment piece of this. And quite frankly, this investment has paid off better than anything else in my portfolio over the past 3 months. So we will give it that. But I always have people coming to me saying like, okay, like I need to make some ETH. I gotta make some money. I gotta see some return on some investment. But nobody seems to know the path to do that. So I know there isn't a ton of time, but I'm going to break this down for you quick as to how, if you want to make $850 to $1,400 over the next 2 months, I am about to tell you how to do it. If you minted a Quokka $200 mint from the time we minted, whether you got it at initial mint, whether you got it at public mint, you need to start matching that fur. You need to start buying off the floor. And the digi camo is what made me think of this. And I'm going to circle back to the digi camo in a minute. So I ran a little experiment. I ran the numbers today. So we're going to take a hypothetical scenario. Every 2 Quokkas you have, you get 1 Quokka kid. Every 1 Quokka kid you have, you get 1 sidekick to be named later. You also have the in real life events. You also have the in real life prizes that that Dick Doofus talked about yesterday. But really, let's just talk about what is available on OpenSea. So if you spent $200 in initial mint, you buy off the floor as it currently sits today. You buy the lowest floor model today that matches your fur, you're spending $600. So you've now spent $800. For that $800, here's what you're going to get. You got your 2 Quokkas, you got a Quokka kid, and you got a sidekick. Now, at current floor, you can sell the 1 Quokka for $600. You can sell the other one for $600. You can sell, the assumption is, and believe me, I think these are going to be worth more, but I'm making an assumption that the Quokka kids are going to be worth half as much as the Genesis models. I'm going to make another assumption that the sidekicks are going to be worth half as much as the Quokka kids. So worst case scenario for everybody on the line today, if you did that, if you spent an extra $600 today, you will profit $850 in a matter of 3 months by moving those along. So everybody who says, I want to do ETH, I want to look at another project, I want to get extra money so that I can go down to the Quokka Cup. That is how you do it. That is how you do it today. So,
yo, positive Q. I love it, man. I gotta ask you this: have you ever worked with a like QVC or one of these online TV shows where they sell stuff? Because like You really sound like a professional, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I have made a living in sales. Just so everybody knows, I have made my living doing that. But I wanted to include a couple other examples because I'm sure there's a couple people on the line who may say, what if the floor falls? So I'm going to give you a falling floor and rising floor right now. So take the same example and the floor goes down 10%. Your profit is $575 instead of $850. Take the same example and your profit goes up 10%, then your profit is $1,400 instead of $850. Do you see the math here? Now, this is all based on the generic brown Quokka, the base model. So now I'm going to circle back to my original point. DigiCamo, I look at sales over the last 3 months. DigiCamo sells at an average of 15 to 17% higher than the base models. Green Camo sells at an average of 20% higher than the base models. White animal fur, 30%. Black animal fur, almost 50% higher than anything at base. Now you got a gold, steel, zombie. You're looking at 200% over base from any of the numbers I just gave. And if you got a diamond, you're writing your own ticket. Looking at you, D22. So that is, everybody comes to me and says, okay, like, this is great. I'm having fun, but I got to make ETH. I got to earn. I got to do these things. That is my advice over the next 3 months. That is what you need to do to pay off anywhere from 850 to, if you had a steel fur, for instance, over $2,500 in the next 3 to 6 months.
So let me ask you this, artwork aside, personal preference aside, where would you say the cutoff is with furs in terms of which ones you definitely want to pair and which ones you would just say, well, I might as well spin the wheel and see if I get lucky and get a diamond?
You're actually running yourself right into the mouth of of Positive Q's segment for next week, is where we're going to start examining over time, looking at the Quokka kids pairings. But I would say my preliminary analysis says that anything below white animal, you may want to spin the wheel.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even so, steel fur, gold fur, white and black animal fur, and obviously, you know, you have the diamond, you have the zombie. Those I'm pairing up, right? If anyone is lucky enough to have 2 of those. But anything less, yeah, I agree 100% with you. Positive Q. Like, if it's a brown, a white, a black, even a pink fur, at this point in time, I'm spinning the wheel. And hey, if you feel like you're not I feel like I'm a lucky guy, right? Like, I always keep it positive. I think, you know, luck is on my side. So I'm spinning the wheel, hoping for a diamond. You know, 90% of the time I don't get what I think I'm going to get. But hey, I'm going to try. So yeah, I agree 100% with you though. Even the pink fur, like, I know a lot of people like the pink fur, but like, do you really want to match the pink fur, or do you want to take a chance and see if you get a diamond or you know, a gold fur, you know?
But I will say, looking at the analysis I just did, if you were going to, like, if you have a DigiCamo and you have 2 of them and you're looking to cash out sometime soon, like you're looking to make ETH, you may want to keep them together. So there's also the investment over time that you need to look at. Like, DigiCamo does sell 20% higher than floor model. So you're gambling with your 20% at that point. So that all needs to be factored in.
That's good. Yeah. And dude, honestly, yeah, I forget. And I think you and I have talked about this Positive Q. Like, nobody really has talked much about the DigiCamo, which is fire. Like, honestly, yeah, that's another one that I actually already have my pair of DigiCamo, and I'm definitely pairing those up.
I actually think the most underrated fur in the collection.
Absolutely.
You know,
man.
not the best. Like, obviously there's others that are topping that in popularity and price, but I think one of the most underrated, without a doubt.
Oh, for sure, man. Another thing is, and I'll be quick with this. Once you do pair, right, and you get your Joeys and you can sell right there, you sell and you get your ETH. What are you going to do with the ETH? Because this is something I struggle with personally. The market is freaking down, right? And ETH may go to 700, 600, who knows, right? But even at 1,000, I really like ETH at 1,000. ETH was at 4,000 a couple months ago. So like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell your ETH for USD and you're going to pay some bills or take a vacation? Or are you going to hold your ETH and wait till it goes up? I don't know what I'm going to do. But it's tough to make that decision as well.
Well, like I always say, I have no idea because I don't even know how to sell anything on OpenSea. That's how diamond-handed I am. I would have to call somebody to walk me through that.
That's freaking awesome.
I understand people have, financial needs and things like that, but I mean, what you're saying is correct. Right now, you're better off holding on to your Quokkas than you are just trying to have that ETH, right?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of spinning wheels, we have our guest coming on right now. We're going to try a new segment with him today as well. So I'd like to welcome on to our show our guest today. He's a regular at the Zar. You can find him there every day, mostly peddling that pink fur Quokka. And I'm talking about the one and only Bizzle. How are you?
Bizzle.
What up, gentlemen? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good. We're really good.
Yeah, good, man. I'm excited to have you on. Like, dude, let me open with this. I met Bizzle in person in NYC. I think I mentioned this last episode, but dude, Bizzle, you're a celebrity, bro. Like, I honestly, like, I was so close to just ask for your autograph because I said, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna see him again in real life, So yeah, welcome to the ZarCast, man.
Hey, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. You would have been the first and only person to ever ask for my autograph. I've tried to hand it out to my family members and they hand it back to me, so that would have been nice. Yeah.
So how did you get involved in TQ?
I got involved. I was at work, and I normally, when I'm working with this buddy of mine, we're kind of both doing our own thing. We really don't have to keep a lookout for each other. We know what we're doing. So I just have my AirPods in and listen to whatever podcast I had on or music. And I think one of my AirPods died or something, threw it in my case and charging it up. And I kept on hearing him talk to his sister, that NFT. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And he was like, Somerville starting an NFT project, text him. I was like, okay. So I text Brett and I'm like, yo, I was working with Dordick. He told me to hit you up. You're doing some NFT shit. And he was like, yeah, cash out me $300. I was like, what? I don't have cash app. And jokingly, like, I was like, he's always talked to me differently than he's talked to everybody else. Like, I do know him in real life. I have known him for a few years. And he was, I don't give a shit. Download it. I was like, okay. So I downloaded it. And what it was, for anybody that's listening, he wasn't begging for money. He did a deposit for the people that came early on, where you kind of paid half. If you decide not to go through with it, I think there was a money back that you could get, but that was half. So it was actually kind of nice because then that was mid-December, I think. Yeah, it was because I was in Florida the third week of December. So I think it was probably first or second week in December, maybe late November. And nothing kind of came out of it until he said, you guys are going to start getting emails. And then we started the Discord mid-December 2nd. Yeah, it had to be right before Christmas because I was in Florida before that. And it was right after I got back from Florida. I got COVID like 2 days after Christmas. And then I was, that's, I guess, where Bizzle was born. My family moved to my in-laws for 3-4 days straight to hopefully not get COVID as well. Unsuccessfully, unfortunately, but everybody's fine now. But I couldn't sleep. I was up for like 20 hours a day. I was dead sober the whole time, taking medicine, feeling like crap for almost 2 weeks straight. So that's when I first learned how to degen Bizzle 0.5, I guess, because it was just Discord. It wasn't, there was no spaces. I'd never been on a spaces. I had heard of Twitter spaces just because I've had a Twitter since like 2010, 2012. So I get the notifications that they started this new spaces thing, but I didn't know anything about it. I was me times two, unsupervised, no wife, no kids, 2 weeks straight. So I just Discord degened until Quokka New Year. I think it was noon, 11 a.m. or in the morning, or 12 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Our time was Rottnest Island's New Year's on theirs, and that's when we first found out that they were going to do Quokkas, because for 2 weeks before that, we were advertising an unknown NFT.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's when we found out that Tribe Quokka was a thing. We were no longer allowed to use ATCQ because it was a tribe called Quest, but it was kind of like a play to get people to pay attention to a hashtag. And once we went legit, don't use it anymore. We're not trying to get sued by a rap group. And I guess the rest is history. It just catapulted from there.
Yeah. So as I said in the intro, you're in the Zar all the time. Is there something that you're looking for in particular? Is there a trait or something that you're after, or are you just there just popping in and having conversation and seeing what's going on?
I guess there's two reasons. One is the last thing you said, because there's some days where you can hear crickets in the den for hours, and I don't think to look in the Zar for a conversation. I go there for a purpose, more of a business conversation, not a conversation. So I know if it's dead in the den, everybody's over in the Zar. So I'll head over there. There's nothing in particular I really look for. I mean, I literally wrote a page of notes here from you guys talking about everything you started on before this, and what you guys look for and what's popular and what needs to be picked up and this and that. And I kind of stumbled across a couple of things, like the PFP I'm using on Twitter right now. He's got that sunset fur with the X eyes and a sombrero with the vampire fangs. Super clean. I think it's cool. It reminds me of what was that? It wasn't Day of the Dead, that vampire movie when they were in Mexico. Oh, it's gonna kill me.
Yeah, me too. That's a Tarantino, right?
Yes.
From dusk till dawn, I'll save you.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's what he kind of reminds me of. It's like a mix between that and when Johnny Depp gets his eyes taken out, the other Mexican one with Antonio Banderas, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. So it's like a mix between those. So I kind of see it as like the vampire, the eyes, like the nice Mexican sombrero theme. But I never looked for them, and it came up in a trade, and I had a Rasta, and I always wanted the cigar Rasta, and I got it, and I did like it. It was like a no woman, no cry. He had the army jacket. He was crying with the dreads and the cigar. But then when I saw that sunset fur, I was like, oh, that's pretty. And obviously, you guys know I'm fond of the Cause XIs. With my
I gotta say this, man. I'm Spanish, Bizzle, and we met in person. I think you're you're white, redheaded, but it seems like you have some Spanish flair in you. You know what I mean? Deep down inside,
I a little salsa, I think, just itching to come out or something.
And we have that meme of you dancing. You definitely have some salsa in you, 100%.
And that is the whitest white boy dance, but it is the grooviest thing I think I got in my bank.
I think it's awesome, man. I would put my ringtone to that dance, honestly.
It would be. I've had a few people throw up some unique pictures for when I call them, so I guess this would be a little bit nicer than what they've done.
All right. Well, we've been waiting to introduce this game, and we feel like you're the perfect person to start this off with. So we're gonna play a game that we are calling the ZarCast Wheel of ETH. So here's how it works. I have an online spinner wheel that has some various prices on it. And you've already opened up the Genesis collection on OpenSea, correct?
Yes, and that is all I know, by the way, everybody. He just said, we're trying something new, have OpenSea open. That's all I know. So I'm just doing what I'm told.
That's right. So I'm going to spin this wheel, and I'm going to tell you how much imaginary ETH you've just won. And then you have to try to spend it, like all of it, if possible, get as close as you can on whatever's available right now. We're going to see what you would end up with.
So real quick, Dante, to know what we're rooting for, like what's the minimum he would win and what's the max he can win?
All right. So the minimum he could possibly win is 1 ETH, and the max is 8 ETH.
Okay.
Oh,
nice.
So all right. So I can start at 1 ETH, so I can scroll up.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Let me get up to 1 ETH.
Spinning now.
Yes, I love it.
Come on, 8 ETH. Come on.
No, 2.5.
Do I have a time limit now to like figure this out?
Yeah, we're gonna give you we'll give you 45 seconds max.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Fuck. 45. All right.
Okay.
1478. I'm definitely taking him.
So what does he got for the viewers that don't have it open? Can you describe the fur?
Animal. Oh shit, you're killing my time. White animal fur, white orange jumpsuit, raccoon hat, and the whatever eyes. He's a neat. Oh shit, he's cool too.
Got 1.5.
This is so much pressure. All right, 1.5. Boom, got him. Yeah, fuck yeah. This guy, 25.90. Hell yeah. Blue guy, monocle. He's smoking a pipe and he has the Indian headdress. That's 1.5 ETH. That gives me 2.5.
Perfect.
Those are actually two excellent choices. I would have spent almost the exact same thing.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love that headdress.
Yeah, I love the headdress too. So what were those two numbers? Because I'm going to put these up in the Zar.
25.90 and 14.78.
All right. Well, that was pretty.
That's
that was
actually a pretty cool game. I like that.
Someday we'll actually be giving our guests the actual ETH, and you can just go ahead and buy those. You know what I mean?
Well, I wrote it down, so I'll just like when you guys get it, you can just forward it to me. I wrote it down here, so you guys don't forget.
Somebody call Somerville and get us our ETH.
Yeah, I know, right? They should. Yeah, we need like 5 ETH a week just to make this thing happen. Honestly, you know.
Yeah, we need a budget.
You're already down 2.5, so we're gonna need another 5 on top of that, I think.
All right.
Well, this episode, we're up. All right, so you discussed NYC a little bit, but was there like a favorite moment that you had at that event that you want to share?
Oh God, meeting Casey Smith by far. Are you crazy? I had talked about it for 2 weeks before. I followed her for years. She's incredible in the Barstool team. She's a part of, I feel like, every single project they do. I can't even imagine how many frequent flyer miles this girl has. So like in my mind, there was a few of them that I had mentioned over the past few weeks. Rico Bosco showing up was huge. And then non-celebrity wise was D22 and Hodldor, because they were two people that I had not met in person that when I did, I was like so happy. And I think I hung out with D22 more than anybody besides maybe my wife all night. I know Hodldor and his wife, K-Prem, they didn't get there till a little later. He tapped on my shoulder. I turned around, shaved head, big old beard. And he goes, Bizzle. I said, what's up? And he goes, Hodldor. I jumped on him and gave him a hug. I was so excited. But to meet people that I've followed on the internet and followed their careers and their modeling careers and their sportsbook careers that they're all doing now with the Barstool Sportsbook and all this. And they were like celebrities to me. And like my jaw hit the floor when I watched all of them walk in the front door. It's like, you have to be kidding me. I'm hanging out in the same place as them. But I also got the same feeling when I met the tribe members. You know what I mean? Because awesome. 5 months in Web3 is 3 years on the actual Web2 internet. Yeah. So it's all relative. So I got the same feeling from both, which I think is pretty cool to, you're not meeting your idols, but you're meeting your friends in a way. You know what I mean? Because you never got to meet your friends.
Yeah. You know what's funny, Bizzle, is like, I don't know if this happens to you, but like I'll talk with certain people on Discord and like I'll make a picture in my mind of what they look like, and then you meet in real life and it's like it's nothing what it's nothing like what you thought, and that's awesome too, because it's like now you finally have you're able to put a face to the name to the Discord handle. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, no, I've guessed nobody right. It was funny because Brett actually texted me one night and there was a picture, the one I edited with the two diamond heads that had Seal and one of his business partners. And he sent me, which one is Seal? He added a graphic. I had already known who he was because I Googled him before. And I was like, I already know which one he is. And he was like, he looks nothing like I thought. And I said, nobody ever looks like they thought. I had no idea. I mean, everybody's 6 foot tall and gorgeous in my head. Meet them and then we see where we go. I got to stop.
Bizzle, but I will say you were uglier in my head. When I got to me, I was like, this dude is a freaking superstar, man. You know what I mean?
All right, man, I've known Bizzle. I've known Bizzle for a long time, and apparently Dave needs glasses. But it is funny. We have somebody who has been on Discord for a long time. I won't give his name because he didn't give me permission to do it. It's been hunting the nerd glasses. Okay. And he happened to enter a contest the other day where he had a picture of himself. He is about, I'm going to give him 20 years older than I pictured him. So it is funny when you see these people in real life. It's great,
man. It's great. Yeah. I mean, even you, Positive Q, like, I think the last episode, you mentioned you're 50 years old. I would have put you at like, 40 max. You know what I mean?
No.
I
I
would have
look
went the other way.
Yeah, I look
64.
horrible. Like, don't worry about
Terrible.
that.
All right. Well, Bizzle, I think
Terrible.
speaking of that contest, I think you and I have something in common. We're the only people on the show right now without a legend.
Yes. No. I own 0 legends. Yes, that is a fact.
Yeah, me too. So, all right. So this is kind of like a ZarCast staple question here for our guests. If you could have anyone made into a legend that you could own, who would it be?
All right. I'm not going to answer my number 1 because I believe he is coming out in the collection at one point. And there's too many whales inside this call before even anybody listens to it for me to do that. And Brian would do it just to fuck with me. So that being said, number 2. I never thought about a number 2 because my number 1, I'm hoping will exist. But
you have to tell us.
I would
dude. Like,
honestly,
just tell us what the number 1, man. We won't buy it. I'll give you my word.
I'm not. No, because I understand what you said, but that little you just heard. But I will give you my favorite one out of the entire first Legends that came out, and that is Babe Ruth.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. I do like the Jackie Robinson, but I mean, as Positive Q knows, like, we're a huge baseball family. And it was funny because that was the one that my wife texted me. She goes, "It's already over in 8th. We're out." I was like, "All right, no problem." But that is my favorite one. And besides the fact that it's baseball, it's black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was huge because there's 2 in the collection right now that are black and white, and they're very unique.
Okay. So you don't have anyone you want to tell us you would like to see turn into a legend that you could get?
Who I'd like to see turn into a legend? Can we get Positive Q into a legend? Is that
No one would recognize that, and it would not sell for very much. I'd have to praise that at like negative ETH.
Let me give you one. Who could I be? Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That would be very recognizable, and that was the first concert I ever went to in my whole life.
Okay, that's a good choice, man.
Yeah.
All right. So we've had Muhammad Ali and Marilyn Manson.
Oh, Muhammad Ali is a good one.
Yeah.
That was Ghost of Tsushima. It was actually an excellent answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is pretty good because you had the Tyson the first time. Maybe get like a Frazier Ali next time.
I'd love to see it because we don't show bodies a lot. With that classic pose of him, like, I think it's over Sonny Liston, but I'm not positive of that.
It is.
It is like, with him, like, with that arm curled, like, over Sonny Liston, like, that would be amazing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw mine out before someone else takes it. And I just saw it recently with my father-in-law, Tony Montana, man, from Scarface.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
In front of a big pile of blow.
Yeah, like, just when I'm feeling just like pissed and like I'm just buying some NFTs, I'm putting my Tony Montana up and I'm just taking over. You know what I mean?
I mean, that would be cool because you do see one-on-ones, like Seal has one in the GAC community that its background is different than, it's not a solid, it's a bunch of like psychedelic, and he's a pothead, and it's a one-on-one. So I think it would be cool if there was legends, which are obviously one-on-ones, but there's like more to it, like that, like maybe him sitting in that chair, maybe if they don't want a huge pile of coke, but sitting in that chair, sweating, bloodshot eyes, you know what I mean? Like, add a little bit more to the actual like picture of the NFT.
Yeah,
imagine like the image of like, say hello to my little friends.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, with the machine gun, like right there, the doors open, with the machine gun, Yeah.
It is funny doing a podcast with you guys because while you're talking earlier and I'm just listening, taking notes, I keep wanting to hit the heart and the clap and the button on spaces. I picked up my phone 4 or 5 times and I'm like, damn it, I can't.
It'll be on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah, share with your friends, all the things. Yeah.
Well, listen,
definitely.
You're killing it in the community. And so we really, thank you very much for taking the time to come out here and talk with us today. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys kind of, I know you guys like to do it early in the morning, and you guys kind of bent backwards a little bit to make sure it worked for me. So I do appreciate that. And I don't want anything that I do in the community to think that I don't have 15 people behind me helping or giving their advice or telling me I'm an idiot or telling me it's a good idea. So there is so many other people in the community that are helping me be me and help the project do as best as possible. So I want to thank you all know who you are, and 3 of you are in here. So
well, and
thanks,
I will give a side note that didn't come up in this, but Jason and I have known each other for a very long time. Jason and his wife and my sister-in-law were friends in high school and college. So I've known him since he was 18. So
Yeah,
and we got into this project together, and he's been very helpful to me. He helped me learn a lot of the things I know. So if you're listening to this podcast, one of the people I learned from is on the phone with us today. So thank you very much.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate that.
All right. Thanks again. And that's going to do it for episode 3 of the ZarCast. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.
Good night, guys.